This video review is of Asheton, and we're going to take a look at Asheton from his windup and full speed through his windup. Here we go. And you can see he gets into that balance point and then down that mound and pretty well extended. So let's stop at certain spots here and we're going to slow the video down. And the first thing we notice is Asheton's glove is open. We want to actually try to close that glove off and get that glove to stay closed. So we're going to adjust that position first. Into the balance point, one thing I notice is his foot is pretty well extended and away from his body. We want to try to get that foot to sit a little bit more underneath him. But overall his balance point's really good. His knee is up tall, and at this point his eyes on the target, and he's ready to drive forward. If that foot was a little bit more closer to his body, he'd probably have a little bit better balance, whereas he wouldn't feel like he's falling back on his heel at all. So we'll work on that a little bit. Again, not too bad though. I really like the balance point where it's at. As we go through balance, that knee starts to come down. At this point, what we want to see is we want to see that front hip start to move forward as that knee starts to go down. And right now, that knee's kind of go down, and that hip is just barely moving forward, not a whole lot. It starts to right now. I'd like to see the hip start moving forward a little earlier in the delivery to create more momentum. We talked about that a little bit last time. Once he gets down, that knee goes down, the hands separate, and now he's driving forward. This is good. He's getting nice and long. The hand is back above the head. Want to look to see if those shoulders are level. It's just a little bit tilted, but it's not bad. And then at foot strike, which is when his front foot hits the ground, looks like his weight's just a little bit forward. And at this point, we want to see that back foot still attached to the ground, and it looks like that foot's popped up a little bit. And if it's attached to the ground, that means we still have a lot of drive that we're still going to be pushing forward with. The other thing we see is his front glove is already opened and rotated, and I like to see that front glove kind of somewhere still along that line and facing that hitter at this point. So just a little timing adjustment. Like I said, everything is mechanically fine. I think we just got to work on a little bit of timing to help everything fire through a little bit quicker. And as we get to release point, which is right about there, we see that he is really well extended out in front. And that chin, we want to see if the chin's past the knee. It is. That's good. And at this point, Asheton is really well extended. So what we want to work on is just trying to get to this extension point a little bit faster with a little bit more power, because right now, as that follow-through comes, he just doesn't quite follow around with a lot of whip. And that's something that the backside will create, that back leg drive will create as we start working on getting better momentum. So really good mechanics here, and we're just going to work on some timing and just trying to create some power just a little bit earlier in that delivery.